Welcome to part 6 of this Peatland ACTION mini-series on how to complete the spatial data template. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to edit data in the template, including how to modify geometries by adding or removing vertices, as well as the tools on the advanced digitising toolbar. Here we have an example of a site where the mapping has been completed for application stage. I'll use this to demonstrate how you can edit features. There are two different aspects to editing features in QGIS. You can edit the geometry of a feature, and you can edit the data associated with a feature found within the layer's attribute table. If you want to edit the attribute values associated with the feature in a particular area, then you may first need to create a selection in the geoplan. So for instance, following a site visit, it's decided that wave dam and reprofiling is actually a more practical technique for drains to the south of the site. Go to the top toolbar and navigate to the Select Features by icon and select the Polygon Select icon from the drop-down arrow to the right. You can then draw a polygon into the map below using a single click to add new vertices around the features that you wish to select. One right click will finish the polygon, and any features within the layer selected in the Layers panel that are contained within the polygon will be selected and highlighted as yellow by default. If you then open the attribute table, you can filter to show selected only by using the drop-down menu in the bottom left-hand corner. Alternatively, you can use the drop-down arrow to the right of the attribute table icon in the toolbar to open the selected features only by choosing the second option. Toggle editing mode on, and the quick calculation toolbar appears at the top of the attribute table. You can use this to carry out quick updates to the different fields within a layer's attribute table. Click on the far left drop-down menu and select the field you want to update. So for this example, I'll select the restoration technique. Then, in the text bar in the centre, you can type the restoration technique you want to update the features to. In order to avoid making errors when updating restricted values, it's recommended that the cell content is copied across from the lookup tables whenever carrying out bulk updates to fields that have constrained text data type. You'll note that when I paste in the copied cell content, the text is formatted in red italic, indicating an error. Where updates are being made to a text field, single quotation marks are required at the beginning and end of the value in the quick calculation toolbar. Click on Update Selected to the right and you'll see that this has updated all of the features selected. However, it won't have made any changes to the other features within this layer. You can also use the Field Calculator to add new or update existing columns. This is accessed by the abacus symbol in the Attribute Table toolbar. A new dialog box appears called Field Calculator, and you can see that you can add new fields or update existing fields depending on which box you tick, and you also have the option to update the selected features only, providing you have some features selected. So you can choose the data types for your new field, or you can just select an existing field from this drop-down menu here. And using the Field Calculator, you can calculate things such as lengths and areas. See video 7, which covers self-QA, for further details on using the Field Calculator. If you wish to edit multiple fields of particular features at the same time, for instance here with the selected features, I wish to change the restoration technique, the material used, and also the average spacing, you can use the multi-edit tool, and this is adjacent icon to the pencil icon in the toolbar of the attribute table. If you click on this icon, then it will bring up the alternative form view of the attribute table. This will only update the features that are selected. Here you can make as many changes as you like to the different fields. So for example, I'm going to change the technique to just wave dam, and I'll put a secondary restoration technique of zipping. I'm also going to update the average spacing to 8 meters. And you'll see that these symbols to the right hand side have changed red, and this is to indicate that there are unsaved changes. In multi-edit mode, you need to click Apply Changes here, and you can see that there is another option adjacent which offers you to reset those changes. Once you've applied the changes, you then need to click the floppy disk symbol to save the layer edits. And then if you click out of multi-edit mode, you'll see that the restoration techniques have been updated to wave dam, a secondary technique of zipping has been applied, and the average spacing has been updated to 8 meters. So now I'll close down the attribute table for the restoration lines layer and deselect everything in the map. Next, we'll focus on how to update the geometry of a feature in the geoplan. In order to do this, the layer you wish to edit must still be selected in the Layers panel and in editing mode. Then locate the button to the immediate right of the Add a Feature button. And if you hover over this, you will see that it's the vertex tool and that there are several different options for using the tool. If you go to the drop-down arrow to the right-hand side, you'll see that you can also adjust the vertex tool to be current on all layers or just one layer. So for instance, if you decided that you needed to trim out an area of your restoration site, it might be useful to have the vertex layer active on all layers. In this case, I'm just going to retain the default on current layer option. And if you zoom in, you can see that when you hover over a feature in that layer, then the vertices are highlighted by red circles. You can easily add in a new vertice at any point in between two existing vertices by navigating to the central point where there's a red cross. And if you click there and then drag out a new vertices from that point in any direction, one click will fix the new vertices in place. If you want to undo that, then just a simple Ctrl-Z will remove that new vertice. To delete an existing vertice, just click on it and then press the delete button. In the instance that you want to delete many vertices at the same time, perhaps for example you're trimming back your restoration footprint or modifying other areas, then click, hold, drag and drop to create a selection box over the vertices that you want to delete, and that will automatically select them all. The selected ones will be outlined in blue like so, and if you press the delete button on the keyboard, then that will remove those vertices from that shape. I'm just going to press Ctrl-Z to undo that. It's worth bearing in mind that amendments to the restoration footprint in this way are no longer required, as it's now mandatory to include any areas that are trimmed out of the restoration footprint in the unrestorable peat layer. See videos 3F and 4 for more details. It's worthwhile making sure that you have your advanced digitising toolbar visible before you start editing features. These are the different options in your advanced editing toolbar. If you're not sure or you can't see these symbols, then I suggest that you do a right click in the toolbar and it should be one of the first items underneath the toolbar's heading. And just make sure that there's a tick in the box to the left of that header. The advanced digitising toolbar contains useful tools such as move features, rotate features, simplify features, add a ring, to mention a few. These tools allow you to adjust features geographically, which can be useful for resolving offsets against the aerial mapping. Adding a ring to a polygon feature can be an easy way to remove a rocky area from the restoration footprint, but don't forget to add this area to the unrestorable peat layer. Using the advanced digitising tools, you can create new parts for features without geometry and split features into different smaller parts, particularly useful for breaking up larger sites. For example, if you wanted to split your site outline up into smaller areas, perhaps for project management purposes or to ensure that they were workable within the year, then you could use this Split Features tool. Select the feature you wish to split and draw a line in the map where you want to divide your feature, and then one right click will split it into two. If you do split up your site in this way, after you've completed all your mapping, bear in mind that all of your restoration features within the different layers in the sites will need updating to ensure that the site IDs are correct. This is easily achieved by undertaking some selections by location. After updating the site outlines to have different IDs in the attribute table, select the site ID 2. Navigate to the vector research tools, select by location, which will allow you to select, for instance, all of the restoration lines that are within one of the selected site IDs. Then, run this tool and all of the restoration lines within that site will be highlighted in yellow. Select the restoration lines layer in the layers panel and open the attribute table for the selected features only. Then, use the quick calculation toolbar to update the site ID of the selected features to 2. Go through all the layers in the Spatial tables group to ensure that the site IDs match the site outline that they are in. You can then split the restoration footprint using the same Split Features tool, or delete the existing features in that layer and rerun the Footprint Buffer tool as per video 4. There are other videos in this Peatland Action mini-series that are all available on the NatureScott Peatland Action website. These cover topics such as generating your restoration footprint, adding features to the different template layers, as well as how to set up a fresh template downloaded from the website.